Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, dear viewers. Today I'll be talking about the second parable of Surah Al-kahf. The second parable is the trial of wealth. Okay, it is also known as the man with the two gardens. Allah knows that mankind likes to derive from stories, important lessons. So Allah uses these parables to capture their attention so that they may learn important things from the parable. Okay, let me dive deep into the trial of wealth, otherwise known as the man with the two gardens. So this man with the two gardens is just one of two people which are mentioned in the story. The first one is a poor man with no inheritance, less children and less property, yet he would strive to be charitable in the name of Allah and give away some of his wealth and devoted his life only to Allah. Meanwhile, the second person, the man with the two gardens, was very arrogant, very boasting, and was a very wealthy man with lots of children, property and inheritance. But initially, at first, both of them were Muslims, pious Muslims. But as time passed on, the second one, the man with the two gardens, became very arrogant and very boasting of his wealth. Then now I will be telling you some descriptive details about his property. He had two gardens. The first one was the one with was a grapeyard. The other one was a date palm tree. These two gardens were powered by streams of rivers and water, and it produced wonderful dates and grapes. Yeah. And he had lots of children, unlike the other poor man. So sometimes this second man would walk and then say to the first man, look, I have more property than you. You are just very poor. He would do this many times. And what's worse is that as time passed on, he thought that the judgment day doesn't exist. No, it exists. But even though people used to tell him, he would say, oh, even in the hereafter, I may still get a better garden than these two gardens, and that I will still be better in the hereafter, and you will all remain at the same path. And Allah obviously wasn't pleased with his behavior. Allah doesn't like people who are very arrogant, boasting, and don't believe in the last judgment day and also the hereafter. So one day, No, wait. When the second man went to the first man, the first man said to him once that, "Oh rich man, anything you do, after you say it, say inshallah, if Allah wills. And maybe if that does not succeed, Allah has a better plan than me." So yeah, back to where I was. Yeah. So one morning he woke up to see all his crops destroyed. His children no longer existed. He did not see his property. Oh no. And then he clapped in sorrow. Where he clapped in sorrow, and that's it. Allah knows the best what happened to him after that incident. But the important thing of this parable or story is that we Muslims shouldn't be blinded by greed, arrogance, boasting and wealth. The second lesson we learned is that it's mentioned in the Quran that during the judgment day, everything, power, wealth, anything will be to Allah, but mankind will only have their good and their bad deeds. And like the wealthy man who got everything, whenever we get anything bountiful, we should praise Allah and thank Him for a grateful reward. Okay? So let's all strive to keep on doing this practice. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers.